Boom, what's up, y'all? This is my first time setting this camera up like this because usually I use the MacBook camera. But I didn't like the angle of it. Feel me? Even now, it's not even. I'm having to look up. Anyways, today I'm talking about Adam and Eve. All right, Adam and Eve. Now everyone knows the story of Adam and Eve. You know, that's probably one of the main stories they tell when they tell you God created Adam and Eve. Now, this I'm gonna be because we live in modern times, right? We live in modern society where a bunch of dudes run around complaining about women. And you know what? I mean, I would complain too. You know what I mean? I used to complain, right? Because everyone tried to bend my ear and try to tell me what a woman ought to be and what she was, what she made to be, and stuff like that, right? And sometimes the words we receive will definitely shape our expectations in life. You feel me? Especially when it comes to something as holy and as great as the Word of God. You feel me? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Is is Adam and Eve and God, you know, but more so about Eve and what Eve is. So some people would say Eve is a woman, and that's not incorrect, but it's missing something. You know what I mean? It's missing something. So let's get into it. Right, to start it off, I'm going to read you Genesis chapter 2, verse 22 in the Wycliffe Bible. So if you don't know, the Bible got many different versions to the Bible. You know, King James, New King James, New International Version. This is a whole lot of rewritten, right? But this is the most archaic English version. It's the Wycliffe Bible. All right. So let's get started. I zoomed in so the audience could see. I'm trying to do my best to keep it, centered. That way the audience don't get that way my camera not blocking it out. All right. So this Genesis chapter 2, we see right here, Wycliffe Bible there. Let's get started. Let's get rolling, because there's some interesting stuff in here, bro. When I lay this foundation upon you, you it's not even new, right? It's not even new. It's just something you already know from experience and learning and dealing with the world. But you'll have guys on the internet try to tell you what women ought to be to you and what they was, you know what I mean, without really knowing. So, therefore, look. So, actually, Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. Therefore, the Lord God sent sleep into Adam. And when he slept, God took one of his ribs and filled flesh for it. Those parentheses is just paraphrasing, because in this version of English, it gets difficult to understand. So in this version of the Bible, they thought to paraphrase it, all right? And the Lord God builded the rib which he had taken from Adam into a woman and brought her to Adam. So she's a woman, right? Now he's getting ready, and he's getting ready to name her, because you got to know, when God made all the things, all the creatures of the earth, Adam was given to name it. You know what I mean? God told Adam, I'm giving you the responsibility to name all these things. You feel me? So, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. And this shall be called Virago, for she is taken of man. You feel me? So he doesn't just go on like the Lord, and when they're interpreting it, they say he built a woman, a female, right? But Adam is still yet to name this creature. You know what I mean? I'm not calling women creatures, but I'm saying in the context of the book of Genesis, Adam still has not yet named what this is, which we know now to be women. And what did Adam call it? He called it Virago, right? Now people might be like, I never heard that word. Never heard that word before. And many people never heard that. I never heard that word before. I heard that word before. So we're gonna look up what Virago what Virago is. A Virago, listen, let's zoom in right here. A Virago is traditionally defined as a loud, overbearing, or ill-tempered woman. Historically, the term derived from Latin to describe a woman of great stature, strength, and courage, a female warrior. Today, it can also refer to, okay, we're not, I don't know why they love advertising, bro. Today, it can also refer to, no, it cannot. Right, it refers to one thing. Okay, let's zoom in right here. Gonna keep it on topic. That's what we do over here. A woman regarded as noisy, domineering, or a shrew, though it originally meant brave, heroic, or man-like woman. So this how you know, bro. This how you know when God had created man. He created Adam, right? And then who was Adam made in? Adam was made in God's image. You feel me? Seriously, bro. This is not no joke. Adam was named in God's image. So when God took Adam's rib out to make Virago, to make what Adam called Virago, to make woman. So what image was woman made in it? Woman was made in man's image. You know what I mean? That's why you see all these, like, now guys won't tell you this. Guys seem to have some strange understanding about what women are. You know what I mean? They want to run around and tell you a woman ought to be like this and not to be like that, right? And it just totally makes bro. I mean, and I'm saying this from my own experience, bro. And I don't mean, my goal is not to mislead nobody. This is why I strive so hard and search for these somewhat obscured and omitted details. You feel me? Not omitted. What's the opposite of omitted? No, I think it's omitted. To try and deliver the truth, right? So, bro, when God created women out of man, women were made in the image of man, right? But man was made in the image of God. You feel me? So, well, that's why you see this whole, these guys, they get upset at women. They be like, women ought to be like this, ought to be like that. But you know what? This is how women, a Virago is what a woman is, bro. And I'm telling you, bro, like, women fight for what they want, bro. It may not look like them putting on boxing gloves, or it may not look like them, how do you say, stepping into an MMA ring, but they fighting nonetheless. They doing the best kind of fighting they can. So what does that let you know? It's like, I mean, how would you fight if you couldn't fight? How would you fight if you weren't exactly the biggest, had the biggest hands? You know what I mean? Oh, I almost cursed, bro, because the person next to me probably tripping and stuff, bro. I don't give a fuck. You're not included in this, all right? So, it's an ill-tempered woman. That's how women are, bro. I'm telling you, that's how women are, bro. They fight. They may not walk up to you and put on gloves and start punching you in the face, but they got ways that they fight. You know what I mean? They got little slick ways that they do things to try and get what they want. The same way men do. Men might be a little more blunt, and in some cases, bro, some men go about getting what they want in life the same way women do. You feel me? So it's not even no big deal. Like, it's not a surprise. Is basically what I'm trying to say, bro. If you ever get surprised, like, bro, you'll see a woman work 2 jobs, bro. Like, you'll see a woman work 2 jobs. especially if she's a mother. Like these are called vigorous maidens. Let's get back to this, bro. She's called a vigorous maiden, right? Now it seems more derogatory, but back then, I mean, we look with the let's go back. Let's go back right here. See, Wikipedia got a image. You see this right here? You see this? This is a Virago. This is a woman. You feel me? Obviously, she's a warrior though, because she's over there strapped up and suited up, and you can see the breast right here. She got breast, bronze of a female young warrior in Lombard. You know what I mean? That's what a Virago is, and that's what Adam chose to name women originally. You know what I mean? So when you see women get out here and some of you say, "Oh, she's acting masculine," or she acting, you know what I mean, like brutish, like a brute. That's exactly what that is, bro. You feel me? That's exactly what that is. Make no mistake. You know what I mean? Make no mistake. So, I mean, if you consider yourself a masculine guy, here's a woman who considers herself a masculine woman. You know what I mean? How do masculine guys deal with other masculine dudes? They wound up, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They wound up fighting one another. They wound up fighting each other. They wound up going at each other's heads, bro. And bumping heads. You know? That's just what it is. That's why you see two dogs, bro. When you see two dogs fighting, that's what that is. You feel me? So you consider yourself a masculine guy, but how you gonna deal with a woman who considers herself a masculine woman? And let me tell you, this is real. You don't complain about it. How you gonna be a masculine man but you complaining? You feel me? Oh, they're filing complaints. You gonna let this woman? You gonna complain about her, bro? That's the opposite of masculine, dog. I'm trying to tell you something, but yeah. So if Adam was named, Adam was made in the image of God, and women was made in the image of man. You feel me? That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is. So when you see women do stuff, like a woman might get on just when she's talking, you can tell when the masculine energy start flowing through her. You feel me? I ain't saying it's good or it's bad, bro. I'm just saying that's just what it is, bro. And you got these quote unquote male chauvinists running around here and they're like, we're the greatest, and they sit around talk about women all day, bro. Talk about women all day. They may even talk about women more than women talk about men. They may even talk about women more than women talk in general, bro. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? But their whole conversations just be around women and be complaining and shit. And they be like, and not only that, bro. They be like this, bro. They be like this. When a woman be, acts like this right here, a Virago, they be complaining. They be like, that's not how a woman should be. That's not, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that's exactly how women is, bro. You feel me? That's exactly how women is. That's how you see all these women have done some devious shit. You know what I mean? Women have done devious things, especially when it comes to scheming and plotting on men, because it's not like they're so evil for this, but they want stuff in life. You know what I mean? Women want things in life, and sometimes some of those things are out of their reach on their own. So what do? They look to see who's in reach of that. All right, well, at the very least, can she go reach that? You know what I mean? Can she have some influence there? Because she ain't got enough to just go get these things that she wants in life on her own, right? How does she get some help? How does she, find that? If she's trying to pick an apple from a tree, but she can't reach the apple, she's just gonna find something to step on, find a stool to step on so she can get it. Start throwing rocks. You feel me? Start throwing rocks to go get to make the apple fall. Now she can have it. And that's the same thing. That's the same thing a man would have done, bro. Go find some. She might start climbing a tree. You feel me? That's the same. You can't tell me that's exactly what a man would have done. A man would have figured out if he could find a stool to step on, so he can go pick up, get the apple, or if he could start climbing a tree, or he start throwing something. He would have just done the same. A man would have done the same things, bro. So when you see dudes on the internet just complaining about women, um, we live in modern times, bro. It's 2026, you know, and this is not just no 2026 shit. This is just in modern history. Because before, women used to not work. The man used to bring the bread home, breadwinner, and women would get like significantly lower wages. These things are true, bro. Like these are facts. I'm telling you facts, right? But now you see they can go on to make some more money. They can do well for themselves, you know. So they feel good about these things, right? They and their newfound sense of freedom has revealed to you as a man their true nature. My nose getting itchy for some reason, but their newfound sense of freedom has only revealed to you their true nature. So now they got enough to keep it real with you and just let you know exactly how much they don't need you. You know what I mean? That's not what dudes want to hear, right? But you have to hear these things, bro. You have to hear these things. Now you might say, now this is as she was created, right? But as we know, both man and woman was cursed by God once they disobeyed, because Adam and Eve, when they disobeyed God, they received a curse. So we're gonna get to the curse, right? We're gonna get to the curse of since mostly this is about the Virago, the woman, Adam and Eve. It's more mainly about the woman, and for men to understand, then we're gonna get to the curse, right? We're gonna talk about the curse. So we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 3, verse something. You know what I mean? It's in there somewhere. I'm just drawing a blank right now. Oh, I can just click this arrow. See, I'm still getting used to navigating this. So what happened? They ate the fruit. They disobeyed God. They listened to the serpent, and God swore to them a curse, right? Let me zoom in right here. This is the curse. This is the curse on the women. Also, God said to the woman, "I shall multiply thy wretchedness in thy conceivings," meaning conceiving means to when you conceive. You know what I mean? Like have like give birth to anything or create anything. So there it goes. God said to the woman, "I shall multiply thy wretchedness in thy conceivings. In sorrow thou shalt bear thy children, and thou shalt be under power of thine husband, and he shall be Lord of thee." You feel me? So what that means is he's gonna make childbirth painful and severe. That's why he said, "In sorrow thou shalt bear thy children." So when you see a woman giving labor, she's in pain. When you see women giving labor, they're in pain. All right, they're in pain. Nowadays, a woman could go into labor, and when she gets to the hospital, they take a needle, right? They take a syringe, and they just give her a shot. Before, I don't know where they do it now, but before they used to give her a shot in her back, to where when she goes into labor and starts delivering, she don't feel nothing, bro. Like she don't feel no pain, right? I learned that from my mother, right? I learned that from my mother. Um, my mother told me, um, when she was giving birth to me and my siblings, she said they offered to give her some kind of injection to where she don't feel the childbirth, but I don't know. I don't know what's. My mom rejected that. You know what I mean? She said no. She just wants to have an as natural a birth as possible. You know what I mean? So she didn't go with no injection or nothing. She dealt with the sorrow for all of her children. You know what I mean? But you'll see that some women, they don't do that. They don't do natural childbirth. They go get that injection so where they don't feel nothing. And I talked to one woman. You know, I talked to one woman who she knew what I was talking about. She knew what I'm talking about, and she said, I was like, what was that like? And she said it was like taking a shit. I'm like, damn, that's a that's not how you describe that. Like that's pitiful. You know what I mean? That's kind of pitiful. The delivery. She equated the birth of her child to like taking a shit. You know what I mean? That's kind of sad. You know, and it's unnatural. You know, it's like trying to cheat God in a way. You know. Now you could say, oh, she did cheat God, but she cheated God, but she's describing the birth of her son and comparing it to taking a shit. You know what I mean? That's pretty sad. Um, she said, so pretty much that was a curse. That was a curse to women that they'll be under the rule of their husband, that their husband will be Lord over them. Right? It's a curse. I'm telling you, it's a curse, bro. I'm telling you, it's a curse. So when women be like in relationships and stuff, or they go get married, or they get a boyfriend or something, they view these things as curses. You know what I mean? Usually she would view these things as curses. She'd be like, oh, if it wasn't, you know what I mean? She imagines how life would be if she didn't have the burden of loyalty. You know what I mean? Like, you can try this, bro. You can try this. Go talk to a woman and ask her, like, ask a woman with a family what she would have done with herself if she didn't have a family, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, when she starts telling you these things about what she would have done, she'll say stuff that be so great and stuff. You would think that she'll be happier that way, right? She'll be like, oh, I went to school, I would have got a degree, I would have been a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. I would have been all these amazing things that she don't even know for sure, or she will never know because her life didn't go that way. You know what I mean? But if you ask her, she's gonna tell you that all these great things she would have accomplished, and how much happier she would have been without if she didn't have the burden of a husband and children and loyalty and remaining faithful. You know what I mean? She feels like she would have just she feel like she would have just became something else. You know what I mean? Something than other what she is. Like you gonna hear um, in the midst of her talking about what she would have done, you gonna hear like regret and resentment. Like she would have just blew the top off the world, bro. Seriously, bro. Um, but I say that to say that's the curse. You know, sometimes it's like 50-50, bro, because sometimes you'll get commended. You'll get commended. Like, let's say you break a curse, right? You take the curse, you break it. People be like, you broke the curse. Good job. You broke that curse, bro. You break the curse. And people around will be like, good job, great, amazing job, man. You broke the curse. And and they'll clap for you, bro. They'll clap for you. They'll celebrate with you. But at the same time, let's say you fulfill a curse. You fulfill a curse. You know what I mean? Especially a curse from God, and you fulfill your curse. You take the curse, and you live the curse out. People again will be like, "Yeah, good job, great job. You fulfilled the curse. No more curse, because you fulfilled your curse. Amazing." And they'll clap for you, bro. They'll applaud you. You feel me? So, I mean, you gotta ask yourself: should women break the curse, or should they fulfill the curse? You know what I mean? And the answer depends entirely upon you, bro. But I'm just tired of dudes sitting here and just giving not just themselves, but giving men a false definition of what women ought to be, bro. Women are what they are. You know what I mean? They are how they are. They are what they are. They are how they are. They do what they do. And they say what they say, bro. But you over here making content trying to complain about women, bro. When the answer is in the book, God has already told you. You know what I mean? God has already given you the answer. Not many people would have known that this is. Not many people would have known this right here, though. You know what I mean? Virago type shit. And not only that, bro. The reason, like when I read that, listen, bro, when I switched Bibles, when I switched versions of Bibles, and I read Virago, and I never heard that word before, and I looked up Virago, what it means, bro, like instant connection. I'm like, bro, because I have never known no woman that has not demonstrated some like ferociousness. You feel me? Like every woman I have ever known personally has demonstrated a level of ferociousness. You feel me? And I don't say that in a commend. I don't say that like giving accolades. I'm saying that like damn. And this is where I'm saying there's like female dogs. You know what I mean? Female dogs. I don't know if you ever seen a female dog, but I mean, it's a dog, but it's a female. You know what I mean? They're similar. They're dogs, but they ain't necessarily the same. They ain't exactly the same. If that's what you're wondering. So when I see Virago, like in nature, for example, let's say in nature, when you see um, a lioness, meaning the female lion, and she's looking over her babies the best she can, it'd be like that's amazing. That's where you get that ferociousness from. So there's like some of it is good, but we're people. We're not lionesses and lions. You feel me? We're people. We're humans, right? So I'm just trying to explain to you. That's why in Mother Nature, you will see examples where the females go hard. You know what I mean? The females go hard. We going hard, you know. But I don't know if the lioness was a good example, because if you know anything about lions, the male lion will come into a new pride and just totally just devour and just totally destroy and kill um, the male cubs. Like that's what the male lion will do, bro. For real, right? And the lioness be present. You know, the lioness be there, but she. So I don't know if lioness was a good example, but here you have it, Adam and Eve. You know, I'm not finna join this whole new wave of dudes that just be complaining, bro. Like just nonstop complaining, bro. You feel me? Just not. And you know what? To give a little background on myself, bro. To give a little background on myself, I grew up in a family where most of it was women, bro, and that's where I'm able to see this. You know what I mean? That's where I'll be sitting back like, just ferocious. You feel me? Like a ferocious and atrocious. And I know that's like the negative. Like a good example would be having a woman companion or a wife that fights for you. You know what I mean? She fights for you. She rides for you. But when she ain't doing that, bro, she don't think she ain't no vigorous maiden. She might be fighting your ass, bro. Seriously, like just fighting with your ass, bickering. I wouldn't want that. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I'm cool. You want someone to fight? You need to call Ronda Rousey or something. You need to call Ronda Rousey, because you know I can't put hands on you. But let me call someone who can put hands. Let me call Ronda Rousey. You feel me? Just I don't appreciate that shit right now. But I say that to say, bro, That's the nature of women. You know what I mean? But never forget that you as a man is made in the image of God directly. Like God, man. You know what I mean? Made in the image of man. I'm talking about like first in line. You know what I mean? First in line. So, I mean, never be sitting there. Dudes be getting all insecure about their position. Like, bro, it's so what, bro? If the listen, and I don't mean to curse on this channel, you know, because I try to keep it about God, bro. This channel is about God strictly. But bro, if the bitch tripping, listen, bro, if the bitch tripping, what are you gonna do, bro? You gonna put your hands on her? You gonna beat her up? You can't run around doing that, bro. You feel me? You can't run around doing that, bro. It's just not what you do. You don't do that, bro. Even if you feel like putting your hands on women, you don't put your hands on women, bro. Ever. All right? That being said, like, we hear time and time again, bro. Women, you know, they don't necessarily. It's not like they run around with super muscles and beating up men, but they'll definitely beat up a man's wallet. She'll definitely bring a man to court and beat him up for his livelihood. He missing work. He got to pay all these court fees, lawyer fees, getting a divorce. You know what I mean? Don't that sound like something a vigorous maiden would do? That's exactly what she'll do. That's exactly what they'll do. And that's no, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying, like, don't let it be a surprise to you that women also fight for what they want. You know what I mean? You might say to yourself, "Well, I don't want that kind of woman." I mean, you don't have to have that kind of woman, but you're gonna end up with that kind of woman if you accept that. If you decide that's what you want to deal with. When we talk about society, we talk about submissive women. You know what I mean, or women that listen, bruh. Listen, the only type of a man that deserves a woman who's gonna listen to him is a type of man, is the kind of man that won't deal with the women who don't listen to him. As simple as that. So while you sitting there be like, bro, I'm not gonna mess with a chick if she don't listen to me. Don't. You don't know what the fuck part of my language. What you telling us for, bro? Like, we don't care, bro. We don't care. Watch you be the first one that exactly end up with a woman who don't listen to you, bro. You feel me? So all that yapping and stuff, bro. But this will put it in perspective. Wycliffe Bible, Genesis chapter 2, verse 22. For me, to let you know, like, the women is vigorous maidens, bro. They may not. They just not like us as guys where we run around and just flex and you know what I mean. We're just more physically domineering, bro. They do it in other ways. You feel me? Now, if you never grew up around women or you don't know them, you don't pay no attention, you didn't learn nothing from them, you're gonna have a hard time identifying these things, bro. But it really, I don't know how it is, bro, because I always grew up around women. You feel me? I always grew up around women, so I know the little bullshit. I keep cursing, bro. You feel me? I don't want to curse on this channel. See what you made me do? I know the little games they play, you feel me? And it's like the most petty games, you feel me? And to be frank with you, I don't got the patience for that. See, you know what I mean? I don't got the patience for that. So I respond exactly how a dude would respond to to these things. You feel me? And people turn to me and they be like, "You're just a jerk, bro. You're just a mean jerk, bro. You have no respect for women." Like, nah, trust me, I got respect for women, bro. But listen, bro. They beating me at this game. They women, when it comes to little emotional games, women win. You feel me? Women win. They win at this game, bro. And I'm not even playing, but sometimes women want to draw me in. You know what I mean? Or she might have just finished playing games with her dude, or playing games with all these other dudes. So when it comes to me, she'll be like, "I'm gonna play games here," and I'm gonna be like, "No, you're not about to play games. You look, you feel me? Play games back," and then they be like, "Bro, you can't do that, bro. You shouldn't say stuff like that. You shouldn't interact with them like that, bro. You disrespectful. Shame on you, bro. You have no respect. Like, bro, trust me, I got respect, bro. I got respect. It's just when it comes to this little ass game that women play, bro, they just it may look like it may look like I'm being mean to her or abusing her, but the truth be told, she abusing me. Truth be told, she abusing me, bro. Feel me? She abusing my emotions because she do little petty stuff. You feel me? She know exactly which buttons to push, and exactly which you know. I'm a man, bro. I'm not too. I don't deal with these things too well. You feel me? I don't deal with these things too well. So when she come over here pressing buttons, and I start pressing buttons, I'm like, fuck it. We press every button, you know. But I digress. I digress. A little a little joking, joshing around at the end. But I say that to say God is the greatest, and this my thesis and my synopsis on Adam and Eve, aka man and woman, or man and Virago. You know what I mean? Now probably gonna be fixated. I can already tell some woman's gonna see Virago. Her eyes don't even believe in the Bible. You feel me? Her eyes don't even believe in God, don't believe in the Bible. But she hear this, it appeals to her ego. Now she gonna be like Virago. Oh, I'm a Virago. I'm a Virago. You not no, you ain't. You really ain't. Not unless you believe in God or you believe in His word here. You believe this? No, then you're not a Virago. You know what I mean? That's not you. That's not referring to you. God is the greatest. Stay up.